this. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, students, teachers, and guardians, I'd like to welcome Mr. Kirk Hammond. All right. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. That's killer.
Yeah.
I like it. Pardon my interest. Ignorance.
Girls rock.
Yeah.
We know you guys got the hardest job in the group, so awesome.
That's great.
So, you're the ones who get driven crazy every day. Yeah. Some days I can't take it anymore. So I thought we would just start off the conversation.
Sorry, drummers.
Kirk, I thought you could tell us a little bit. I was reading online last night. You got your first guitar when you were a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been any sort of imagery that has anything to do. And when I would go, and still am now, I hadn't even, and someone from when we were like, let's say, a week, heard heavy metal, and I thought to myself, album comes out, you read about it on iTunes, you sign in with your account, you download it, and I don't know about the music. I have to go to the store and get all the other information, and once it's downloaded, other people out there, but I never really make it past and all the and whatnot that's a part of the whole package. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times bands would and it would be like, a length of and it'd open up to album or something that was interesting. And I remember the band or yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, they're moment. And when I look back, I think, well, and I'm always asking that question.
Yeah, awesome.
Completely. Or did you have the mirrors? Huh? Did you have the mirrors? Band logos on mirrors?
I'm trying to write Metallica logos, Rat logos, Kiss logos, whatever I can, that whole thing. So even though the music's been digitized, and of course you're doing everything you do, it's awesome.
All right, that's killer.
They're more popular now than they were in the heyday because the attendance for them has grown, and it's just grown and grown, grown and grown. You want to talk about?
When I was in Exodus, there's a kind of hangout at all, and we would check out each other's, like, how we're always in our bands, check out other bands. Everyone was playing because we were all kind of like a sponge. I was just soaking everything in, and then at music. And so crazy guitar playing lessons, and from the very back of the room I can hear someone giving graph paper, and so I just sat there, and the person coming out of that room walked out. I said, "Hey," I said, "Okay," and with some I remember how that whole it was the only way I could get around back then, riding my bike. So I did that, and I can go in the back off the rack. And he sat me down and laid me what he expects from his students. And he was harsh, but I liked his attitude, and I couldn't believe his rhythmic, polyrhythmic, counterpoints. I mean, everything. He was everything that I all these crazy sounds, and so a different approach, exotic scales. I was hooked. Most importantly, he said to me right off the bat, it doesn't matter how fast you play. It's your taste and your heart and soul. And I heard a voice from the other room screaming, "That guy's picking every note, speed it up." And Joe's like, "Nope." I didn't want to turn out like some clone of someone else, and I purposely just kind of stopped looking into it.
Everything you're talking about is very, as you guys know, very technical guitar stuff. Dave loves to go to Europe because in Europe, what Dave says about Europeans, guys, is that Europeans listen to blues. Talk to us about, so how did the Sabbath and the other stuff come to you?
Well, it's interesting because I grew up in San Francisco and a lot of blues, a lot of Latin music. Not that long ago, I realized that I wasn't really San Francisco until I was about 12 years old. I mean, I spent a lot of time listening to a lot of blues, a lot of Latin music, Broadway music. Yeah.
That's all right.
I remember at at Beatles and the Rolling Stones. My brother's record collection, which had Beatles and the Rolling Stones, just like a lot of like pop, like the Rolling Stones, Beatles, but I never really like listened to it. But then, when I started to, I switched deep inside of me, and amazing, yeah, all that R&B and soul and funk. And so that stuff, I mean, was a weird cultural thing for me anyway. And all the kids around me were talking about my hunger, because I saw Gene Simmons, and I went on to so I went out and got Kiss Alive 2, or Kiss Alive, the first album. I was hooked. I mean, I discovered hard rock and I loved it, and listened to it, and I rediscovered Jimi Hendrix. And then I saw a documentary on Jimi Hendrix, and that inspired me to pick up a guitar.